and welcome to Footyplus, brought to you by Toyota. Today we're here at the beautiful Morphettville Racecourse to bring you another show full of all things South Australian sport. Coming up on this episode, we meet the Adelaide athlete who's been crowned the fittest man in Australia.
I love pushing the limits of my body, I love seeing what I can get out of it.
And chat to the cricket coach who has plans for a Redbacks revival.
So I was thinking about Don Pike, how would he go? 3/4 of his team went overseas and said, I'll be back 3 weeks before you start your first game.
He's one of the best small forwards to have ever played AFL, creating magical moments that fans will never forget. But Eddie Betts is determined to leave another legacy through a series of children's books encouraging literacy and learning. We caught up with the Crows veteran who now calls himself a children's author.
Hello, how are you? How you going?
He's already a father figure to some of his Adelaide Crows teammates, but these days the Eddie Betts effect reaches far beyond the football club.
Ready? Ready, nice and loud. We're Eddie's little homies and we're here to say our First Nations people paved the way.
Betts was once again king of the kids on this day at Tea Tree Gully Library, where he hosted a reading of his second children's book, My People.
Hey, I'm sharing facts about my people. Come, join in. Have you heard about this land and language group within?
It's Betts' second children's book, following on from My Kind, released last year. The subject matter in both is close to Betts' heart, drawing on his own struggles with literacy and racism and using rhymes and rap, illustrations and multicultural characters to deliver messages of inclusion and kindness.
Yeah, I actually still don't believe that I've actually written a book, let alone 2 kids' book, and we wanted kids to see themselves in the book. We wanted kids to, see the important messages that are in the book, which is bullying, looking after the environment, speaking up when you're a bit sad, helping out the elders.
His second book focuses on simple teachings of Aboriginal culture.
We found that, there's not much of Aboriginal culture taught in schools and as a young age too, and this is my life through the book, and we're talking about Aboriginal culture, talking about our flag, talking about how many years we've been here, we're talking about our spirituality, how we lived and thrived off the land over 60,000 years, and music, dance, art. So it was pretty cool in the end to write a book about Aboriginal culture.
How are you? You good? What's your name? Lucas, thank you.
Betts' book projects are backed by his wife Anna and a full artistic production team including ex-Sydney and Collingwood player Jesse White. A third book in the Eddie's Little Homies series is in the pipeline.
My son Louis said, can the next book be about sport? And so we're thinking, okay, we're going to come up with some ideas around sport and interact kids with different types of sport.
Further down the track, the books might get their own app. Betts even dreams of taking them to the small screen.
I guess that'll be the ultimate goal, to turn or create the Eddie's Little Homies into a cartoon series.
He might be in the twilight of his football career, but the cult of Eddie shows no sign of fading.
Thanks for coming down. Thank you.
AFL fans believe that this season has seen a crackdown on crowd behaviour at grounds around Australia.
People should respect, you're in public outing, and if you can't respect others, well then you shouldn't be there.
This week on The Crows Show, we find out if Adelaide Oval have changed their security arrangements. Make sure you tune in to Channel 7 tomorrow morning at 11:30am with Alana Smith. CrossFit is a gruelling strength and conditioning competition that's had a rapid rise in popularity since its inception 12 years ago. It's also seen Adelaide man James Newbury crowned the fittest man in Australia. We caught up with the 28-year-old at his very own CrossFit gym in the city as he prepares to take on some of the world's most impressive athletes at the 2019 Reebok CrossFit Games.
How do you get to call yourself Australia's fittest man? It probably digs a few people. which is okay. I guess you have to look at the definition of fitness. Fitness isn't just endurance, and fitness isn't just strength, and fitness isn't just speed. It's all those things mixed into one. Say you're the best marathon runner in the world, you are at the top end of endurance. And if you are the world's strongest man, then you are at the top end of strength. Our aim is to be as close to those ends of the spectrum as we possibly can. I had no real expectations of being a CrossFit athlete in the beginning. When I was 21, I was playing rugby league, I was playing A grade in Sydney, and a guy from Adelaide that I knew said, "Mate, have you checked out CrossFit? It'll make you a better rugby league player." And I did a class and it totaled me. Like I was like, well, whatever this is, I need to do more of it. It's going to make me better. Every session that I was doing at football, I was thinking about doing CrossFit. I was thinking about I'd rather be doing pull-ups, I'd rather be doing snatches and cleans and all that type of stuff. The next year rolled around, 2012, that's when I was like, I want to go to the CrossFit Games. I want to go compete against the best in the world. I just love pushing. I love pushing the limits of my body. I love seeing what I can get out of it. On a regular day leading into the CrossFit Games, you're looking at anywhere from 4 to 7 hours of training. It's a big mix of monostructural running, riding, rowing, skiing, and it's also a big mix of weightlifting and gymnastics and track and fields. This will be my 4th CrossFit Games. My results have always been, in my opinion, subpar to what I would have enjoyed or what I would have hoped for. This time around, the preparation has been really good. So I'm not happy with 18th, that's where I placed last year. But if I was top 10 in the world, I could come off each event and say I gave it my all and I maxed my capacity out in every event, then I'd be satisfied.
Under pressure, South Australian cricket coach Jamie Siddons admits he's facing some pre-season challenges as he prepares his Redbacks for a demanding summer. But the man who captained SA to their last Sheffield Shield win 23 years ago says a strong team culture and some exciting fast bowling prospects have his team primed for a rebound year.
After successive Sheffield Shield wooden spoons and 7 bottom finishes in the past decade, the pressure is mounting on South Australia's cricket team.
We didn't make enough runs, we didn't take enough wickets, so that's the game of cricket. We need to improve in all areas.
And with the core of his team playing its trade in England at World Cup, Australia A and county level, Siddons admits it's a difficult environment in which to prepare for a demanding summer.
I was thinking about Don Pike, how would he go if 3/4 of his team went overseas and said, I'll be back 3 weeks before you start your first game, how he'd cope with that.
But Siddons knows such circumstances are part of the territory. While there's no Carey, Head, Zampa, Winter, Lehman or Ferguson, he sees rich potential in a young group being put through its pre-season paces by Redbacks physical performance manager, former Adelaide Crows Stephen Schwert.
The culture's going really well with our group. I think everyone's happy, everyone's learning, everyone's training really well. I don't think there's any issues. The feedback from players is that they're loving the environment. It's a really young group that we're working with, and they're all excited and looking forward to getting better. People like David Grant, who's also no one's probably heard of, who's also 6'2" and bowls quite fast. There's some exciting prospects in our bowling stocks this year, so hopefully we can wheel a few of them out and give them some experience.
McIntyre defends. The Shield belongs to South Australia.
While South Australia's last Shield-winning captain recognises the importance of bringing some silverware back to Adelaide.
I would love to be the coach that wins the next one. That's what my aim is, and give these players the experience that I had.
He's strong of the belief that in today's state cricket environment, winning isn't quite everything.
We had 4 players represent Australia, which I think is a fantastic thing for South Australian cricket, and that's a tick in the box for the coaching staff.
One of the main challenges facing that coaching staff is finding the keys to the form of Tom Cooper and Callum Ferguson, 2 veteran game breakers who lost their place in the Shield side toward the end of last season.
4-day cricket, we still see a massive future for both of them at their best. Fergie will, we can see him at number 3, no problem, straight back into the side. Coops finding that spot in 5 or 6 to hold the innings together at the back end.
It's only a few years ago that SA reached back-to-back Shield finals, and Siddons is confident this group can soon reach those heights again.
We need to be more consistent. We can have great moments in games, we just can't hold it together for the whole game, whether it be a 50-over game or a 4-day game. We need to win those key moments in those games. We weren't able to do that.
Crows fans, don't miss the opportunity to get a unique game day experience by joining the Guard of Honour. You could be on the field as the players run through the banner in front of 50,000 fans. Sign up at crowsmembership.com.au. Now to horse racing and a trainer-jockey partnership that's blossomed into one of South Australia's finest. John Hickmock and Siren Falk are enjoying career best seasons, and Footyplus caught up with them at their Murray Bridge stables to get an insight into their secrets to success.
They're South Australian racing's odd couple, the veteran old-school trainer
I have no intention of retiring.
and the irreverent young jockey.
I just like riding winners. I'm a very competitive person.
Together, they've become a force on the SA racing circuit, with Hickmott now 5th in the Trainers' Premiership and Falk the 6th best-performing jockey. Their most recent major triumph, the rich Golden Topaz at Swan Hill.
Crown Fontaine fighting on. Crown Fontaine won the Topaz.
The adrenaline rush is just unbelievable. If you're not getting a buzz out of it, you're in the wrong game.
That buzz is what keeps 75-year-old Hickmott going. The father of 2-time Melbourne Cup winning trainer Robert and 3-time Darwin Cup winner Michael, he's a former drover who developed a genuine love of horses and found he had a knack for getting the best out of thoroughbreds.
I like horses to have space, and by that I mean, have their own yard where they can go out, and I think if you've got happy horses, you can keep them up for much longer, and happy horses make good racehorses.
Philippines-born Falk hooked up with Hickmott 2 years ago when he moved to Adelaide from Queensland to resurrect a career interrupted by a shocking fall aboard Power Ranger in the 2015 Rockhampton Cup.
Oh, there's a 4-1 down. Power Rangers come down. Jockeys come off. Vandalise. He's hit the deck.
I had broken ribs, punctured lung, fractured my face from like halfway down, had a brain bleed. So I had dizzy spells for like a good 6 months.
But Falk always wanted to get back in the saddle, and Hickmott quickly realised he wanted him on his team.
He's a champion little bloke, and as game as Ned Kelly, sometimes too game. But the biggest thing is that if I say to Siren, look, Siren, there's 10 in this horse, he gets 10 out of it.
Mr. Hickmott's really easy to get along with, and he's got a jokey personality like me. And we have fun and easy, casual going people, and we said we just got a good friendship.
He's a great little bloke, and I'm proud to call him my mate.
The forecast is for even more success, with Hickmott rating his current crop of yearlings as the best he's had in his life. The man they call the Forklift wants to stay on board.
He's pretty much like my father down here. He's given me everything, so I'd love to repay the favour to him. And
Hickmott's not going anywhere.
The old saying, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. So I don't want to be sitting in an armchair and growing old. I'll grow old doing this. Yeah.
Each week on Footyplus, we take a look at something that caught our eye on social media. And recently, Adelaide United announced the signing of South Australian young gun, Riley McGree. The 20-year-old grew up just 17 kilometres from the club's Elizabeth training base and returns to Adelaide after a short playing stint in Belgium. McGree debuted for the Reds as a teenager, having played his junior football at the Gawler Eagles. Make sure you keep up to date on all the latest Crows news and behind-the-scenes action on afc.com.au, as well as Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Thanks for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed the show. A huge thank you to Morphettville Racecourse for having us here today. Keep an eye out for us on Channel 7 and 7 Plus in the weeks ahead. Bye for now.